Hi there, welcome to lesson 6. In lesson 6, we are discussing advanced tips and concepts. Yes, though it's a beginner class, right now we can share a few more things with you. We can tweak a little more things with you, and then I'm sure it will not be difficult for it to settle in, so we're not afraid. So, we're going to reinforce some other concepts and make you more effective when you even manage data that is complex. So, I'm going to talk about a few. And the first one I'm talking about is the fact that entities can be abstract. Until now, we have talked about um, children, talked about schools, something you can physically see, but it's not always like that, you know. So, a bank transaction, every row, the date of the transaction, the amount transacted, the, you know, the source of transaction, that is an entity, and that's a role in the data set. Number of visits to a hospital. So when you visit a hospital on the 5th, who did you meet? What did you complain about? Is an entity. So it could be abstract. It may not be physical. So yes, we have said it so much that it seems as if you have to see something concrete: clothes, boxes, shoes, and all that, all the works there. But it's not always like that. So let's note that first tip or concept. So another concept or tip you need to understand is that entities can inherit attributes from another related entity. So I'll give an example. Usually, depending on the kind of democracy or the kind of government or political structure of a country has one president. So it's a one-to-one relationship. So let's look at that country. This is Nigeria, my country. The country belongs to a continent, has an area, and has a population. And that president has a name, a gender, and an age. So I'm going to be in place if I said that you know the the president belongs to the continent of the country. You understand? And the country, the name of the country's president is this person. You understand? So Nigeria, which is my country, can inherit the name of the president, and the president can inherit the name of the continent. So we can inherit attributes of one another, and that happens a lot when you merge. You can inherit that. So let's go back to those merging thing we did there. This was the name of the student, and these are the books. So if you merge that together, books can inherit readers, can inherit schools, and the then gender to Julia can inherit you know kind of book she reads. So bottom line is that books now has some extra attributes. So the book B1 is owned by a gender female. So we're just going to reinforce this because it has been there, but just to reinforce it, you know, that entities can inherit attributes from another related entity. So that's key. Another thing I just want to emphasize here too is that entities can supply attribute information for another entity. So this is a typical example: a man and his wives. You know, that's African culture. A man could marry two wives and then they have many children. And maybe some other societies to have more than polygamy. But the point I want to make here is that even though those are entities, the summary of those entities now form um, the attributes. So the man has two wives and five children. In a data set, that's what you find. So you can collapse some information you find from the wives and the children, and they can become the man's own. So basically, that's how it works. So we have also talked to about the journey to credible data. We have mentioned all the steps that are necessary. We've also mentioned that it can be altered. So you must always keep this at the back of your mind. Of course, this is not a tip, but this is just a final thought. So there are dynamics that change across all these levels, and I will just want you, even till this very day, when I see any data, I always think of this imagery, because no matter how advanced it is, it helps to guide you in whatever you're doing. I just wanted to, emphasize that one more time. I don't think I will do that for the rest of the module and for the rest of the course. Please keep this very close to your heart, and even when we start talking about advanced things, we will still refer back to this. So thank you so much for your time, and I hope you have learned something. We'll see in the next lesson where we're talking about data ethics. So stay tuned, and we'll see you in the next video.